Yes, it is. Let's get to the professor, because I love the professor, and more than she loves me. The headline here: Professor hurls students' pro-life display after profanity-laced tirade, quote, triggering my students, end quote. Her students are being triggered because they're pro-life people on campus, and you can't allow that. Hunter College is the name of the place. They should have the word college stripped away. It should just be called Hunter. Hunter College art professor Shalene Rodriguez called the pro-life display violence. She said, now there are a couple of peaceful kids sitting there smiling, looking pleasant. They're at a banquet table, and they have at their table a number of pamphlets and things that they're willing to share with you and talk to you about being pro-life. And that's violence, because silence is violence, and violence is not violence. Violence is what the left is entitled to, but if you're sitting there peacefully, then you're violent, right? And if you're aborting 56 million helpless, tiny little children going like this, save me, and then that's not violence. But sitting there peacefully at a table, that's violence, and she's a college professor, shaping the minds and the worldviews of the next generation. A professor at New York Public College appeared, I would say, the video demonstrates that she did, appeared to shout down pro-life students before snagging and throwing items in their display, accusing the students of spreading propaganda and triggering other students. Hunter College students were manning a table displaying pro-life literature earlier this month when they were confronted by an angry professor who shouted profanities at the students before tossing materials off the table. Video of the incident shows. I'm going to play the video, but we're on radio, so you only get the audio portion of it. It's kind of fun with the video portion too. But here's the audio. She's a professor, an art professor, no kidding. Shalene Rodriguez at Hunter College in New York. And again, I think just two kids in the video, sitting there, minding their own business, very peacefully, banquet table, have some literature on there. And then this woman who looks like a radical, from her driver's license photo, you'd say radical. And she's a person of color, POC, a woman of color, a WOC. And she's an angry OC. She's a crazy person, and therefore she's a college professor and is paid lots of money to help mold the next generation of Americans.
You're not educating. This is propaganda. What are you going to do, like anti-trans next?
What?
Next?
I mean,
what?
We're talking about abortion.
This is bull. This is violent. You're triggering my students.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
No, you're not. Because you can't even have baby.
You can't have
So
it.
you don't even know what that is. You don't even know what this is. Out of here.
And she's flipping stuff over and throwing stuff in their faces, and that's big, and that's cursing words that I can't use here, but you know what they are. One begins with S, one begins with F. She used them repeatedly. She's not very imaginative, apparently not very intelligent. She's violent and apparently criminally insane, mentally unstable, and a college professor. And that's fine at Hunter College. Send your kids to Hunter College because she's a professor there. And you don't even know, beep, 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 because you can't even have a baby. But just because they're men, they can't have, of course they can have babies. So I've got a pregnant man emoji in my iPhone. Of course men can have it. This is the new regime. What kind of a Luddite is she, suggesting that they can't have babies because they're male? That's one of the most outrageous things she said. Get this beep out of here. Get the heck out of here. And this is all fine, of course, because she's a lefty, and that's what lefties do. And the college is now taking a look at it, and I can assure you there'll be a long and laborious examination of the situation, and then nothing will happen to her. But the students will probably be told that they shouldn't provoke mentally ill people, because that's what generally happens. It isn't clear if there was any interaction before the start of the video, exactly what the literature at the table was. It really doesn't matter. Well, the incident went viral on social media and was reported by The College Fix, a great website. The professor's actions were defended by the PSC Graduate Center, a labor organization of graduate and professional schools, at the City University of New York. They of course attacked the students. They said the Students for Life set up a table and prominent banners to propagate dangerously false propaganda. Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles. Maybe they were listening to Gurgle. You think they were listening to Gurgle? It's possible they were listening to Gurgle. Claiming such materials were disinformation and, quote, should never be allowed to take root at our college. Pro-life should never be. You gotta, get the children, harvest their organs. Because that's it, and that's what they say. They don't believe in free speech. They're not liberals. They're the left. It's a completely different thing. Yeah, and they claim falsely in this statement. Hunter College adjunct educator, she's an educator, Shalene Rodriguez, approached the display, constructively critiqued the group members. This is delusional.